5 Seconds Later is a horror series that explores how ordinary people would react to encountering paranormal phenomena. In this episode, a young woman named Marina has recently moved into her grandmother's house after she passed away. While going through her things, Marina discovers an antique music box that appears to be cursed. Here's our story. Hi everyone, and welcome to Horror. The wind repeats everything I say. 5 seconds later, as always. All of the stories in this series are based around real events reported by people just like you. So if you think you have a story that could make for a great episode, then please submit your story to our website, where you can also vote for your favorite episodes and even watch exclusive content not published on YouTube. You can find the link to our website in the description below. And with that said, let's begin. It had been about 3 weeks since 23-year-old Marina had moved into her grandmother's home. Her grandmother had passed away peacefully in her sleep from old age, and so Marina decided that instead of selling the house, she would move in herself while she finished up her studies at the local college. The house was big and dated, but it was filled with wonderful memories of her childhood. Marina felt like she could still feel her mother's presence throughout the house. Even though her mother had passed away 7 years ago, Marina had been only 16 when it happened. She barely remembered anything about her, which made her closer to her grandmother. It was her grandmother who had raised Marina, teaching her everything about life and making sure that she grew up into a good person. In the weeks leading up to her grandmother's death, Marina had come over every day to help out. But now that Marina was staying in the house permanently, there were chores that she had never done before, like cleaning the attic and taking care of the garden. One rainy afternoon, Marina went up into the attic. She hadn't been up here in years, not since she was a little girl. The floor was littered with old boxes, most of which contained her old childhood toys. There was a musty smell everywhere, and Marina could feel mold growing on her skin. Marina had no idea what she was looking for, but she was hoping to find something useful that she could use downstairs. And soon she came across a large trunk hidden in a dark corner of the attic. Marina walked over to it and opened it up. Inside, she found stacks of old photo albums and letters, as well as other trinkets that looked to be very valuable. Marina knew that her grandmother had a lot of family jewelry hidden away, and she was hopeful that some of it was in here. She wasn't really interested in the photo albums or the letters, so she put them back and continued to search until she finally came across a small wooden box with a keyhole in the center. On the outside of the box was an intricate design that seemed almost alien-like. Marina had no idea what the box was used for, but she knew that her grandmother wasn't really into jewelry, so this must have been very important to her. Marina searched all over for a key that might fit, but she couldn't find one anywhere. Finally, she spotted an old key rack next to the front door. There was only one key left on it, and it looked exactly like it might fit the box. Marina brought the key down to the box and inserted it. To her surprise, it turned easily, and the box opened. Inside was a single music box, one that looked identical to the exterior of the box that it was in. Marina reached inside and pulled the music box out. The moment that she touched it, she felt a sudden chill go down her spine. Marina shrugged off the feeling and walked out of the attic. She placed the music box on the table in the living room and wound it up. From the box came a haunting melody that echoed throughout the room. Marina recognized the song. It was one of her grandmother's favorites. After the music box finished playing its song, Marina wound it up again and listened intently. Something about the song seemed familiar, like she had heard it somewhere before, but she couldn't quite place it. Maybe she'd heard it in one of the old photo albums. Either way, it didn't matter. Marina wound up the music box once more and placed it on the mantelpiece above the fireplace. She had no idea that the music box was cursed, and whoever had placed the curse on it did so because they wanted it to play forever. For the first few days, Marina barely noticed the music box. She was busy enough with her work and studying that she didn't have much time to listen to it. But the more time that went on, the more the song began to stick in her head. At first, it was only when she was alone in the house that she heard it, but soon it followed her everywhere. No matter where Marina went, the song seemed to follow her. She started hearing it in the shower, in her dreams, and even while she was driving to school. Marina tried everything to get the song out of her head, but it was no use. She could barely remember what her classes were like anymore, because all she could think about was the music box and its hauntingly beautiful song. One day, Marina decided that she would go to the local antique store to see if they could do anything to fix the music box. When she got there, she asked the owner to take a look at it. The owner took one look at the box, and his eyes widened. "This box is cursed," he said, startling Marina. "I'm sorry, but I can't buy it." "Cursed?" Marina asked. "Yes, cursed," the man said, backing away from the box. "If you wind it up, the song will drive you insane." "Oh, don't be ridiculous," Marina said. She wound up the music box and began to hum along with it. The owner shook his head and told her that she wouldn't win. The moment that the song ended, Marina felt a sharp pain in her head. She fell to the ground screaming, clutching her head in agony. The owner of the shop called an ambulance, but Marina was fine by the time they arrived. She told the paramedics that she had probably just hit her head on the corner of a table. They didn't believe her, but they didn't have any proof that anything supernatural had happened, so they let her go. Back at home, Marina tried to get the song out of her head. She played loud music, but that didn't seem to help. She tried to drown it out by watching TV, but the song was always there underneath, mocking her. Marina was desperate. She couldn't take much more of this. Then she had an idea. Maybe if she rewound the music box, the spell would be broken. Marina went up into the attic and found the box. With shaking hands, she wound the music box back up. The song began to play, but it was different this time. It sounded like her grandmother singing to her as a child. Marina began to cry as she listened to the song. The pain in her head returned, and with a final scream, she collapsed. When Marina regained consciousness, she was in her bed. She looked over and saw that the music box was sitting on her nightstand. It had stopped playing. Marina got out of bed and walked over to the music box. She opened it, but there was nothing inside. On the top of the box, she noticed a small button. She pressed it, and the box began to play. This time, the song sounded even more beautiful than before, like an angel singing from the heavens themselves. But underneath the beauty, Marina could hear a demonic voice whispering to her, telling her to give in to the darkness, to let the song consume her. Marina screamed and threw the box across the room. It landed on the floor and stopped playing. As she stood there crying, the walls began to close in on her. The windows shattered, and Marina could feel the demonic presence closing in. She ran out of the house and never looked back. To this day, nobody knows what happened to Marina, but some say that she was forever trapped in her grandmother's house, doomed to wander the halls for all eternity, listening to the music box and its haunting song. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this 5 seconds later episode, then check out part 2. Also, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. And if you really enjoy the series, consider becoming a patron where you can watch exclusive episodes early, ad-free. I'll see you next time.